week 22 of the fantasy basketball season. And here's a few forwards I looked at off the wire this week. The first forward, G.G. Jackson of the Memphis Grizzlies. So G.G. Jackson, I've spoken about him a lot this season, and he was a player that wasn't even going to make this Grizzly team, but with all the injuries and obviously a team that's out of it, he got an opportunity, and he signed the 4-year deal a couple weeks ago as Jackson, and he's secure now after he pretty much was a diamond in the rough and a guy who didn't have much of a ceiling. So on the season, 13.4 points a game, 3.8 rebounds and assists, 2 threes a game, and 43% from the field. But the last couple weeks since he returned from missing a few games, 23.6 points a game, 5.1 rebounds, 2 assists, 3.6 threes, and 47% from the field. So right now, with it being week 2 of the fantasy playoffs, these are the type of players that obviously out of nowhere these guys are coming and they're putting up big stat lines, and they could be a part of your championship team and help you win a championship. And that's what you got to do all season long if you want to get this far into any fantasy type of league. You got to work the waiver wire, and guys like G.G. Jackson, an unknown, and no one of you expected to do it, sometimes come up out of nowhere, and that's exactly what he's doing. March 18th at the Kings, 22 points, 7 boards, 3 steals, 4 threes, 61% from the field. March 20th at the Warriors, 35 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 7 threes, 57% from the field. The March 22nd at the Spurs, 14 points, 8 boards, 3 assists, 2 threes, 31% from the field. So G.G. Jackson, he's scoring the basketball at a great rate. His field goal has been pretty solid except March 22nd ball game, and he's hitting the 3-ball grade and a good rebounder. So right now, he's a player playing tons of minutes for this Grizzly team. That's obviously out of it, 35-plus minutes a game, and he's putting up 4 or 5 categories for owners. So right now, while he's out there in 50% of fantasy leagues, and especially coming off a 35-point game, he's one of the top pickups this week as well. The next pickup, Najee Marshall of the New Orleans Pelicans. So we know Brandon Ingram, he's out with the knee injury, and next man up is Najee Marshall for this New Orleans Pelican team. On the year, 7.3 points a game, 3.7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 46% from the field. So Marshall, he's starting to get playing time over the last 2 games now since Ingram's been down. March 21st at Orlando, 4 points, 2 assists, a steal, 40% from the field. Then March 22nd, first game without Ingram, 13 points, 7 boards, and assist, a steal, a 3, 54% from the field. Then March 24th at Detroit, 14 points, 8 boards, 3 assists, 4 threes, 50% from the field. So right now it's about opportunity at this time of the year. Same with G.G. Jackson. Same goes with Marshall now with Brandon Ingram out with the knee injury here. Marshall, next man up, and he's going to score the basketball. We saw flashes from him a few seasons ago when he got some playing time, and he's available right now in tons of fantasy leagues at 92%. And he's a good ad this week. Next ad, Sam Hauser of the Boston Celtics. So this Celtic team, we know they've clinched. Celtics, a lot of their players towards the end of the year now, they're giving them some time off to heal up some of their injuries, that they're ready to go for the playoffs. Because we know the Celtic team, best team in the Eastern Conference this season. So on the year for Hauser, 8.7 points a game, 3.4 rebounds, 2.5 threes, 46% from the field. But the last couple weeks, 18.5 points a game, 4.3 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 1.3 steals, 5.5 threes, and 57% from the field. So Sam Hauser, he's a legit sharpshooter for this Boston Celtic team, and he helped fantasy owners in a big way at the category. Right now, he's available as Hauser in tons of fantasy leagues at 85%. So 3-point shooting and good field goal percentage for the most part is what he's going to bring owners. March 17th at Washington, 30 points, 6 boards, and assists, a steal, 10 threes, 76% from the field. March 18th and March 20th, he missed those games. March 22nd at Detroit, he returned 14 points, 4 boards, and assists, a steal, 4 threes, 35% from the field. And March 23rd at the Bulls, 23 points, 5 boards, an assist, 2 steals, 7 threes, 88% from the field. So right now, catch and shoot 3-point shooter, rebounding the basketball, 4 or 5 boards per game, which is pretty decent as well. And this week as well, we got 3 ball games coming up, I know, is Sam Hauser going into this week. But if you need 3-point shooting, he definitely could be a key for you winning this category in this week in week 2 of the playoffs. So right now, since he's out there in 85% of fantasy leagues, and if you need 3-point shooting, Hauser is the best option out there right now. The next ad, Kyle Anderson of the Minnesota Timberwolves. So Kyle Anderson, he's bumped up his percentage owned in the last couple weeks here. We're still available in 56% of leagues. On the year, 6.5 points a game, 3.6 boards, 4.2 assists, and 47% from the field. But the last couple weeks, 9.2 points a game, 5 boards, 6 assists, 1.2 steals, 50% from the field. So obviously, Karl-Anthony Towns, he's out indefinitely, got hurt week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and now they need some more scoring. And Kyle Anderson, he's not a huge scorer, but he's definitely bumped up his scoring a little bit over the last few weeks. March 18th versus at Utah, 10 points, 6 boards, 5 assists, a block, a 3, 50% from the field. March 19th versus Denver, 12 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, a steal, 2 blocks, 55% from the field. And March 22nd versus the Cavs, 10 points, 6 boards, 5 assists, 3 steals, 55% from the field. So right now, Kyle Anderson, he's a guy that could give you 3 or 4 categories. Good rebounder, pretty good assist numbers, steals. He's always been good going back the last few years. And field goal percentage, he gets efficient shots. So right now, while his playing time's gone up a little bit and the ball in his hands, field goal attempts have gone up. Kyle Anderson is there this week, and the 5th and final forward I looked at off the wire this week here is Georgie Zhang of the Cleveland Cavaliers, so another 3-point shooter like Sam Hauser, even though he's not on the level, I believe, of Sam Hauser. But he's had some games where he's popped off for 5 or more threes this season. Is Zhang on the year, 9.3 points a game, 3.6 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 1.8 threes, and 44% from the field. But the last couple weeks, with playing time going up, 14.1 points a game, 3.6 boards, 1.1 assists, 2.3 threes a game, and 50% from the field here for Georgie Zhang. So right now this week he's got 4 games as well, which is always a plus in a semifinal round. March 20th versus the Heat, 18 points, 3 boards, an assist, a steal, 3 threes, 40% from the field. March 22nd in Minnesota, 10 points, 3 boards, 2 steals, a block, a 3, 50% from the field. The March 24th at the Heat, 6 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, a steal, 2 threes, 33% from the field. So right now he's not that much of a category type of player besides scoring, 3-point shooting, and maybe the occasional decent rebound games out of Georgie Zhang. If you need that 3-point shooting and some scoring, he's available right now in 83% of fantasy leagues. That's a few forwards I look to add with the semifinals of most fantasy leagues for week 22 of the fantasy basketball season.